Welcome for these grand events of the launching of the Great Migration of Boma National Park, Badingilo National Park and Jonglei landscape. نقول مبروك لنا كلنا في جنوب السودان. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, after the formation of the revitalized government of the national unity, the directives for the economic cluster were for the diversification of the economy. Hence, the Ministry of Wildlife, Conservation and Tourism, amongst others, we have embarked on the transformation activities. The Ministry of Wildlife, Conservation and Tourism, as the agent entrusted by the Constitution to conserve, protect and manage wildlife for tourism enhancement, is standing on solid ground and operating from a perspective of reactivating this momentum. This milestone came as a result of a massive transformation of which we have undertook under your guidance, Your Excellency, in order to bring tourism industry back on track. Effectively, we have assessed and initiate plans to address the gaps of the legal framework. That is our first pass and step, which includes the laws, regulations, and policies through the relevant desk. Now, most of our laws and policies are at respective stages. Also, we have underscored auditing and reviewed agreements and MOUs with partners, of which some of them who have proven to be below the expectations are not transparent to the ministry. And by the way, that is our most serious challenge with our partners. Most of our partners, they are not so transparent. Those who are below the expectations and not transparent, we are blessed to face out peacefully. We have actually flushed some of them out. While the committed ones are still on board, and in this juncture, for the Ministry of Wildlife Conservation, we have the Fauna and Flora International, and we have in Jojo. Those are the two currently operating entities, plus African National Park. Currently, the ministry engaged in multiple dimensions of activities, which are processing the laws and regulations. That is one serious gap. Establishing the relevant policies, almost we are at the final stages. Establishment of a deterrent law enforcement unit so that we protect our resources. Development of the infrastructures, that remain one of the very serious challenges. Marketing and promotion, I think that would be our overall assignment. Your Excellency, we have established links with regional and international conservation and tourism entities for complementing the technical gaps for the development of the tourism industry of the country. Along this course, we have come across different partners, but African Park Network remains the most experienced based on their wide compliance in managing parks in Africa. They are managing 21 parks in Africa in 12 different countries. That's why we committed ourselves so that we sign up with them this partnership. Your Excellency, the President, distinguished guests, we do appreciate African Parks Network, whom have accepted to join us in the process of the transformation, and we have signed with them an MOU. In this MOU, we have transformed African parks. We name it African Park South Sudan. It's not the mother African parks, but we have adapted it into our context. That was in 2022. Task for the conservation and management of Badingilo National Park, Boma National Park, and Jonglei landscape. That means they are entrusted for the migration and the indigenous species within those areas. In April 2023 up to January 2024, in the initial briefing they said 2023, but the processing of this transformation went with us up to 2024. In April, that's where we have finalized this transformation process. In April 2023 up to January 2024, the Ministry of Wildlife Conservation, in collaboration with the South Sudan African Parks Network, have carried out massive aerial surveys within Boma, Badingilo, and Jonglei landscape up to far northeast, close to the Sobat River. These have culminated into a massive finding in the wildlife population and its diverse migratory species and indigenous species. The census population estimate indicates that Boma, Badingilo, and Jonglei landscape contains the largest global migration of antelopes on Earth. The figures will be launched by His Excellency the President. This operation signals South Sudan as an appropriate tourism destination and a country to visit. We are sending this message that we are a country to visit based on these marvelous findings. In the today events, we are celebrating the findings of only 10%. And by the way, Boma and Badingilo constitute only 10% of our protected areas. We have other 16 protected areas plus the other tourism aspects. These findings constitute only 10% of the entire protected areas of the country. Hopefully soon we will be inviting to the unearthing of the rest. I'm quite sure such events will continue as long as we are still digging deep. Excellency the President of the Republic, distinguished guests, after conducting this survey with the above amazing results, we have developed multiple sustainability stages. The strategies to include capacity building, effective conservation education and awareness, deterring laws, enforcement, promotion and marketing. By the way, we have very serious cultural challenge. Most of our indigenous people, most of the people whom live within the protected areas, some of them, they thought those animals belong to them. And we are telling them those are national assets. You see, these are part of the awareness that we are hardly working on it. And we want them to understand those are national assets. The land of great abundance, tourism will be flourished as a unique tourism destination, boosting the economy, attracting domestic and foreign investors, creating massive lucrative jobs. That will be the results of what we are doing now. Please enjoy the privilege of the first come and enjoy the most. That is for our tourists. Welcome for this purpose, both domestic and international tourists. Welcome for these marvelous sceneries. At the end, in my concluding remarks, I would like to give my heartfelt thanks to His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit, the President of the Republic of South Sudan and the Supreme Commander of Wildlife and the Chancellor of the Tourism of the country. Without his guidance, we couldn't reach, and directives, we couldn't reach this long. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My thanks also goes to Professor James Waniga, the Vice President and the Chair of the Economic Cluster, because the Economic Cluster is the path through which we reach the Cabinet. Also, my appreciation goes to the Friends of South Sudan Wildlife. We have a body here, we call it Friends of South Sudan Wildlife. This body is being chaired by His Excellency Nicholas Haysom, the Special Representative of the Secretary General. And this body includes all the foreign missions, all the diplomatic corps in the country, as well as the organizations operating in South Sudan. We have to appreciate and give them our heartfelt thanks, because they have, in their collaboration with us, they have assisted us much. And lastly, our appreciation goes to everybody who has committed himself or herself in order to come and attend this marvelous historical event. Thank you very much. May you be blessed by South Sudan.